How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to more Narcissu. I'm sorry I haven't been able to really post any of Narcissu recently over the past few weeks. It's been really hectic trying to figure out how to get this capture card to work and stuff like that. So anyways, so why don't we just load it up and see what's going to happen. Crap, which one was I on? The Emerald Sea? Wait, is this one, I guess? I think this is the recent one, right? Okay. It fitted perfectly. I should get my mouse out of the way because I'm pretty sure I can press enter here. It fitted perfectly. Though it was years old. It fitted as though I'd ordered it just today. Oh man, maybe you did. The model was still smiling at me from that cover. Smiling in front of me of that Emerald Sea. Smiling straight back at me. Flaunting her happy life and her perfect figure. I felt sad. Fuck. Already, we're like already a minute in and I forgot how depressing this game is. I wasn't exactly jealous, but I suppose I wished I could try being her. You wanna be a woman? I knew it just wasn't going to happen. But I suppose that just made me want it all the more. But the long scar on my breast told me, give up. Wait, is this her talking or is that guy talking? It told me, all you have in this world is what you see when you close your eyes. Oh. Don't tell me it just broke itself. It just broke itself, alright. Gotta be right back. Okay. January 22nd, 2005. Let's see what happens. It was the time of day when the sinking sun sets the western sky ablaze with orange. We were driving, of course. How long have you guys been driving? We were making the most of it. We were going to run out of money soon enough. May I ask you something? It was incredibly rare for her to initiate a conversation like that. Lost for words, I nodded. Are you allowed to have baths? Yeah, short ones. Same here. The people who might not have been allowing it were, of course, the doctors back at the hospital. It wasn't that rare to meet people who were forbidden to bathe normally, particularly if their problem was to do with their kidneys or digestive system. If she had the same kind of restrictions as me, maybe she had the same thing as me too. Why? Did you want one? Is that a problem? Not at all. Oh, voice crack. Wow. Wow, not at all. I'd quite like one myself. Our range of potential baths was pretty limited though. A hotel or inn would have been the nicest option, but not many of those are interested in the kind of money we had to offer. Should we look for a bathhouse then? What? A public one? That's about all we can afford. I'll do without. Are you sure? It had been 3 days since we ran away. On the 7th floor, there'd been baths twice a week, and hot towel wipes twice a day. Hot towel wipes? What? It could have been worse. At this time of year, we weren't going to be sweating much. And as long as we stayed in the car, we were unlikely to get dirty or even so. What's wrong with public baths? Are you too shy? Not really. Not the way you mean. You just made that conversation awkward, dude. The sun fell from the sky altogether. The moon replaced it. We'd driven on for a while till I caught sight of a building that looked like a school. This would probably do. I pulled over to the curb and a little way from the gate. Then I turned to the heap of laundry that still covered the rear seat and began to fish through it. There had to be a couple of towels in here somewhere. There were cheap, shabby things with the legend Shirashi Construction emblazoned across them. Probably free gifts. I won't be a moment. What are you doing? I am going to save here because it's a gray screen. If it does that, then you know something bad's gonna happen. I headed for the school, taking a couple of towels with me. The gate was locked, but easily climbed. Why are you trespassing? Once within, I found what I was looking for almost immediately. A tap. Probably there for the gardener's convenience. It worked. One twist of the top and it began to spurt out a stream of numbingly cold water. Heh, this is what you get for climbing over fences. I held the towels under it till they were sopping. Sopping? Then wrung them till they stopped dripping. Here you go then. I passed her a damp towel. I was already tugging my shirt off and setting to work on my body. Oh, your body, The coolness is a pleasant contrast to the warmth of the car. The dampness, an antidote to the drying effect of the air conditioning. Come on, it's better than nothing. It's pretty refreshing, really. Alright. She had been sitting there just staring at the thing, but now she slowly began to unbutton her clothes. Ah, dude! That baggy white shirt and rolled up pair of jeans. Unlike me, she didn't remove anything. She just opened them wide enough to get her towel through inside. Okay, thank you. That's better than what I thought she was gonna do, but alright. She stopped again, her clothes hanging loosely from her, and glared at me. What? Would you mind not looking? Oh, sorry, I wasn't thinking. Yeah, you weren't thinking. If Hassan was in this type of situation, he'd be like, oh, I'm gonna do something with that. That was an expression. I'd never seen her face before, a mixture of frustration, confusion, and embarrassment. The interior of the car wasn't really large enough for this. We were basically sitting back to back now. Feels good, doesn't it? Not bad. It was completely dark outside now and only dimly lit in here. The windows were like mirrors. My body was reflecting back to me with vivid clarity. So was hers. She'd taken her top right off now, just like me. I couldn't help but look. Ah, damn it. Yes. Yeah. Oh my god. I'm saving it here. This gray screen has been going on for too long. Yes. That's how he starts it. Yes. Oh my god. She had a scar like mine. So she had operations as well. I had no idea what or when. We didn't talk about what kind of thing, but I could see that her scar was larger than mine. My own. What? Yes? Why? Why yes. No, it isn't that unusual. She was talking to my reflection in the glass on her side of the car. That's weird. January 25th, wait, we were just at January 25th, 2005. Really? The silver coupe purred along under a cloudy sky. Hey, it's a cloudy sky right now. Voice crack again. 3 more days had passed. We'd driven on as before without any fixed destination. Nothing particularly exciting had happened in that time. About the most interesting moment was when we happened on an open-air bathing spot that was particularly free to use. There hadn't been many people around, so we'd taken the opportunity to have a proper soak. Apart from that, we'd just been spending our dwindling money and burning our dwindling fuel. Are you tired of this stuff yet? Not really. This was a reference to the usual cheap onigiri we were eating. However, preferably it was the 7th floor cuisine. It wasn't quite wonderful enough that one could eat it forever without tiring of it. And while it was the cheapest food we could live off, even then we weren't going to be able to afford it anymore. I'm tired of the noise. Huh? What noise? The car. It's getting noisy. You're right. Too. I hadn't noticed till she mentioned it, and it was noticeably louder than it had been. It was almost certainly my fault too, for cracking the silencer in the rush to get away from that pachinko parlor. It was a blessing that I hadn't damaged anything more fundamental. Right now, however, the patrol situation was a rather bigger problem. The gauge had been reading empty for about 5 minutes now. Unfortunately, I only had 900 yen left. There was no chance that we could afford to fill up on that. If we ran out of patrol, we'd be helpless. I couldn't face that, so I was looking out for a patrol station, a self-service one. As luck would have it, we came to one before the engine started dying. I pulled up beside the pump nearest the exit. I'm going to fill up. Right. Stay in the car, okay? She didn't reply, but I was pretty sure she could guess what I meant. I opened the filling cap and stuck the nozzle in like I'd seen other people do. It seemed to do the trick. Gonna save here. Gray screen. 13. Yes. Whoops. Oh, that was okay. Oh, okay, yeah, we read this. I looked around as I filled. There was only one other customer present at the moment. They were attendants, but right now they were both inside the kiosk. That appeared to be where the business side of things took place. There was a user's guide stuck on the wall, which implied that the thing to do was to fill up first and then take one's receipt to the counter to pay. If we left out that last stage, we might well get away safely. Ah, that's stupid. Don't do it. I looked up at the pump. 23, 24, 25, 26. Last time those digits had seemed to click past so fast. This time, the meter seemed to be counting unhelpfully slowly. The effect was the same though. I couldn't wait for it to be to finish pumping. The numbers ticked on. They reached the 40-liter mark. We were nearly there then. Afternoon, sir. It was one of the attendants. Damn him. I hadn't noticed him leaving the kiosk. Need your ashtray emptying? Type pressure's all okay? Yeah, we're fine, thanks. Good, good. Gotta be careful at this time of year, you know. Gets a bit dangerous with the cold. Then, apparently thinking I'd appreciate the service, he actually started washing the car windows. What are you doing? With a beautiful sense of timing, the tank chose that moment to become full. The hum of the pump cut out and was replaced with the rattle of the receipt printing. Just take that to the till to settle up. The attendant stopped scribing for long enough to point me towards the kiosk. I reached out dumbly and took the receipt in one hand, then, completely at a loss to know what to do, just stood there staring at it. Is something wrong, sir? No, it's fine. Confounded, all I could do to think was to clamber back into the car. I started the engine reflexively. What should I do? What could I do? The attendant was still fussing around. He appeared to have started washing the taillights. I could just make a run for it. This was a fast car. They'd never catch up. But they'd certainly make a note of the registration. We'd be arrested within hours. Wait! What would you do if you don't have enough money to pay for gas? Will you just like vacuum the gas out? That's okay, now I'm kinda confused about that now. Well, we were in trouble already. At least we could delay the inevitable. I shoved the clutch out, mentally cursing the overzealous attendant and all his works. Then as I grabbed the gear stick and pushed it towards second. Here. Huh? Use this. She was holding an envelope in one hand. She was holding the other hand out with a 10,000 yen note in it. What? You had that all along? I couldn't believe that all this time she'd let me think I was the only one with any money. I couldn't believe she just sat there and watched while I resorted to petty crime to try and keep us fed and mobile. What the hell didn't you tell me? Did you ask? I thought you know. That's why. As always, she stopped there and just started staring out of the window again. We were on the move again. We had a full tank, which, much of it to my relief, I had managed to pay for without any awkward questions. We had money, over 5,000 yen now, with change of patrol. Sorry about that. Somebody just walked into the garage and just decided to do something. Alright, so I'm pretty sure I read this. Over 50,000 yen now, and with the change from the patrol. Okay, I was still bothered, of course, but this time it was the girl's fault. So let me get this right. Here, have the rest. What? She cut it in before I could finish putting my question together and dropped the envelope in my lap. Is it okay to use this? That's what it's for. I took a peek inside and there were 4 more of those 10,000 yen notes in there. That was more money than we were likely to need to see us through, which was all well and good, but did lead me to certain other questions, like, say, why on earth had she been carrying so much cash in the first place? It wasn't something we really needed in day-to-day life in the hospital. That's why I only had a few thousand yen to bring with me. It rather looked as though she really had been preparing to run. Wait a minute. You always said you wanted to be on the 7th floor, right? And not at home either. Yeah, me too. So, you were planning to go somewhere else all along, weren't you? Is that why you had all this money? And I remembered something else she'd said. She'd said that she was going to walk for as long as she could. And she'd asked whether I was going to try to stop her, or whether I wanted to go with her instead. You had somewhere in mind, didn't you? Not really. Somewhere non-particular then. Nowhere. She whispered in a sad and lonely voice. Then she had really just been keeping herself constantly prepared to ready to leave. even though she had nowhere to go? It was hard to believe that anyone would choose such a futile path. I'm gonna save here. Do another save. See? It was like 3 seconds or something like that, I don't know. But she was there beside me to answer, and the despair in her face was ample confirmation. What about you? I did not really have anyone in mind either. Don't imitate me. I wasn't, not really. So there we were, driving along together. I who had the initiative to leave, but done so without thought of plan, and the girl who had been continually prepared without ever acting. Huh. That's gotta tell you something. I want to go somewhere. I don't really care where. I just want to go. Huh? Why don't we go to that Orajishima place? We can afford it now. Seriously, I didn't care where we went, as long as it wasn't the 7th floor or home. As long as we could keep going, and as long as we weren't just wandering around pointlessly like now. This is like a zombie apocalypse. I didn't care where we went. Orajishima would be as good as anywhere. You want to go there too, don't you? Not really. She gave her usual response, and stared out the window as usual. And as usual, her eyes became distant and unfocused. I wondered what she was looking at. I wondered what she had been thinking and what she had been hoping for in coming this far. What the fudge? We finished chapter 4. We're gonna go into chapter 5 now. Oh, I'm supposed to click it. Click. Chapter 5. Route 1. I still enjoyed looking at maps. There was Route 1 stretching forever across the country to places I'd never been. I liked cars too. They could take me anywhere in my dreams. But however much I looked and however much I learned, it was all academic. It wasn't real. Reality and my spirit itself were growing increasingly fragile. I had a swimming costume, I had maps. What I didn't have was a future. There was a world outside the window, but it wasn't one I could enter or touch. I could close my eyes. There was another world there, an empty world, but that wouldn't make the one outside go away. I knew that. I could accept that. I knew that the empty world was all I had, and the one outside was not for me. And yet, I couldn't help but imagine. I couldn't help but hope. I couldn't help dreaming. I couldn't help desiring them beyond desire. That bikini, that emerald sea. Wait, is this her? Okay, we're inside her thoughts now? What? The long scar on my breast told me, give up. But I spent half my life in hospital. My only other place I had been, the world I saw when I closed my eyes. I despaired that I could only choose between home and the 7th floor. Okay, this is her perspective now. I just realized that. I hadn't even been given any real freedom even there. I felt I was truly a wretched creature, unable even to find a place for itself. Even though I lived for 22 years. Oh, she's 22 years old! Alright. Just for once, let me have my way. When I whispered that, I felt my time move. My stopped time moved. That day, I felt pain in my heart. Oh, fuck. My stopped heart hurt. January 26th, Route 1. Suka. Whoops, butchered that. The coupe was roaring along the still winter sky reflected from its bonnet. We had still not made any plans, but at least I knew we had money. We would not go short of food or petrol. We were approaching a major junction. While I hadn't managed to get a particularly flavorful response last night, I was still thinking of heading west, just because. Well, that's a bit. I hate that answer. I hate that just because, you know. The problem with that was that I was hopeless with geography, and I was still reluctant to use the highways. We had money, but that wasn't infinite. It was at the point in my musings that we began to see signs of this junction. I didn't take much notice. I was just going to keep driving straight on. Left here. I'm going to save here. Oh man. So, hope you guys enjoyed this part of Narcissu, and as always, I hope you guys have a great day.